one, once the issue is still in court, and unconstitutional. Young say President Mahama, ever since our austerity, our 1990 military regime countries are all ECOWAS. ECOWAS is saying ECOWAS, military leaders, almost Samba ECOWAS. Oh yes, ever since austerity, yes, I know. Or since you are unconstitutional, on Famra, on Boomra, who they share affirmative action law. Who say one book? Almost 30% must be given to women 1 year until we have to let President Mahama know, sir. We have Article 69 of the Constitution now. See, Parliament should impeach him. Now, Parliament may impeach here. We will let the people of Ghana come out and impeach him because the people of Ghana they vote man who say offer nipa work court. Or person ya di boni papa obi ntimi nya ne hwi because obe work court ebe protecting no. But the ka kire ne say on man mfa no ntu Parliament so. Na Ghana for sorry say omonpenua court ntimi embuano because the people of Ghana you voting one after the other no we will do a demonstration and come to the Jubilee House now you are chasing no on your appointees out of that place only the okase ya gura on continue no ye de ya emfata ye kan o si ontie
okay tutu se sana motias yan de ya amanyofo politicians na eba mirenim fo nso so a omo so a kire say the Ghana Bar Association the omo hwa kire ne say okay muso maame no aye nia enye na petitions a first of all yen petition no nia ehwehwe ene enyinaso ye wie nso so a I mean the whole article 146 eye yemra pon no nhihye se bio ye de betimi ayi mrahye bedwom fo edi aye judges na edi no eno no eye path eda ho me fan say akwankyira eda ho na enkyira se ekwan ne da ho nti obetimi afa so keke enti e was a transparency bibam procedure enti sesi ya na yemu bebre kura hu petition enna ba so a ye pa omo se omo hwe se the prima facie case a it say enyina so bi e wo ho se maame no ye twene sensen ho no se bio in the first place council of state I mean nipa 31 no ni ayete ne say emu aduasa eje pene na nipa ba ko so enye pene but ni enti e ba no sanso obi anim eno no eye procedural year transparency bi a wo say o mamu no nyina yehu se bio president no anazo mampanyi eni tumi waka say o sorry ya no wo ye nia wo ye ni nyina no step by step.
We are calling on Ghanaians. We are calling on all Ghanaians, especially women of Ghana, to rise and be heard. We call on women across political divides, including. Okay, so we call on women we call on all Ghanaians, especially women of Ghana, to rise and be heard. We call on women across political divides, especially courageous women within the NDC, to stand up against this tyranny and injustice. The fifth demonstration is not for one party. It is for every Ghanaian who still believes in the rule of law, in equality, and a future that belongs to all, not just for the privileged few. President Mahama must know Ghana is not his private property. The judiciary does not belong to the NDC, and the women of Ghana will not be silenced anymore. Join us, rise with us. Let our voices tender through the streets of May's feet. Let Mahama hear our loud and clear hear us loud and clear that Ghana belongs to the people, not to a political party. So, thank you. Is emphasizing that this is not a demonstration for the NPP or political parties. It is a demonstration for Ghana. Members of the press, fellow Ghanaians, women and youth, and patriotic citizens across the length and breadth of this country. The People's National Party wishes to inform the public of our full participation in the fifth demonstration a national call to duty, not just for political parties, but for every Ghanaian who believes in justice, democracy, and the rule of law. This is not a partisan demonstration. It is a people's demonstration, and the PNP cannot sit on the fence while President Mahama and the NDC attempt to hijack and destroy the institution of hope left for Ghana, the judiciary. President Mahama has already taken control of the executive and parliament. Now he is determined to seize the judiciary, as he promised a group of NDC lawyers during his campaign. He is appointing Supreme Court judges not to serve justice, but to carry out his party's agenda. Already, he has appointed 7 Supreme Court judges without a national demand or constitutional justification, only to balance out appointments made by former President Nana Addo. This is not balance, it is blatant politicization of justice. Worse still, President Mahama has acted with reckless disregard for due process. When a petition was filed against the Chief Justice, he refused to follow the legal process and bypass natural justice by rushing the matter to the Council of State. When a court injunction was filed, he disrespected the authority of the court and went ahead to suspend the Chief Justice. This is a president who believes he is above the law. To make matter
into equating its supposed super parliamentary majority to a mandate to govern beyond the scope of Ghana's 1992 constitution. On their campaign trail, His Excellency President Mahama openly declared to appoint NDC judges in the judiciary and other constitutionally mandated institutions, even before.
Firmly reject the ongoing attempt by the NDC administration to remove Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokonu. We believe this move is unjustified, politically motivated, and harmful to the independence of our judiciary. There is no credible evidence of wrongdoing to warrant her removal, and the process appeared to be a calculated and a political retribution, an agenda signaled during the 2024 campaign by the former president then himself. Of particular concern is the appointment of Justice Gabriel Scott Pormine as chair of the investigative committee. His prior involvement in the related case of Daniel Ofori versus the EcoBank compromises his neutrality and casts a shadow over the credibility of this process. We acknowledge the other members of the committee, but insist that the chair must be beyond reproach. There are many qualified justices who can lead this probe impartially. We therefore call on the President John Dramani Mahama to immediately replace Justice Scott Poorman. This is not politics. It is about safeguarding Ghana's beautiful democracy and upholding the rule of law. Let us defend our judiciary from partisan interference. Justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. Thank you.
The national organizer of the party, Nana Boache, the Deputy Second Chief Whip of Parliament, Jerry Ahmed Chaib, MP, Weja, our own still speaking, still strong, still energetic. I call him Bobo, former MP Osekunde. Our illustrious Regional Secretary for Greater Accra, Udailai Paka France, the Regional Organizer for Greater Accra, Prince Obain, and of course, other national officers and regional officers gathered here. I believe that I need not go too much into the reason why we are here. Suffice it to say that there has been a systemic and determined attempt to assault the independence and integrity of the judiciary, the last bastion of our democracy. And Ghanaians would have to speak. There is nothing political about this. Nothing. Those who are going around full of insults, gratuitous calumny, vituperative expressions, abusive language, leave them. That is not the work of educated people. We have to analyze and think about what is going on. It needs deep thinking and not insults. We have to agree and agree to disagree. That is human nature. But it is the depth of your intellectual capacity which should reign supreme, not the cacophony of loud noises and insensible talk. We have to rise to the occasion as Ghanaians. It is not for nothing that the Trade Union Conference at the Labor Day this morning, in the presence of His Excellency the President, John Mahama, made a clarion call on him to look at the decision to suspend the Chief Justice. And I quote their language. They are deeply concerned. It is not me, it is them. And this was said right in his presence. So don't let anybody think that this is a political matter and that it is a two-horse race between the NPP and the NDC. So political actors will go and sit on radio and say whatever they like. It has to do with our judiciary. If this is how our judiciary is going to be played around with, like ping pong, I want to tell Ghanaians that there was a yesterday, there sure is a today, certainly there will be tomorrow. So let us always be guided by the incidents of history. I also have read on the GNA news portal that the former Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Sophia Akufu, who is an esteemed member of the Council of State, has also said that the processes unraveling the suspension and removal of a Chief Justice is unfair. And she has appealed to the 8-member Constitutional Review Committee set up by our President, John Mahama, to have a look at Article 146 and to amend that article in the Constitution so that the processes will be stringent. She has also advocated that even when or if any Chief Justice should suffer a removal from office upon stated grounds, there should be a right of appeal. The final arbiter should not be the committee. If GNA peddled a blatant falsehood, then I am repeating an innocent one. But that is what GNA has put on the news portal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a crossroads. There is a siege on the judiciary, the third arm of government. We have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. They are supposed to have separate and distinct powers. Separation of powers, as we call it. Do we have to let the judiciary be hanged? No. Thank you very much. I'll call on my fellow colleagues to come and talk, and after we shall have a little dialogue. Thank you very much.
Here for this press conference is clear. The country is not in agreement with the president in his decision to remove the Chief Justice, thereby undermining the independence of the judiciary, the process undermining and destroying our democracy, threatening the survival of this Fourth Republic. We have a series of engagements. All the political parties will come up here and give you their statements, why they are aligned with us to undertake this all-important demonstration, a signal to the President of the Republic that the political parties, the Ghanaian people, will not stand for him to destroy our democracy. And we believe that when you get this message today, because it borders on our democracy, you, the media, will take particular interest, because without democracy, there will be no media. Media will completely be silenced. The media will completely be out of play. Your existence depends on the survival of this democracy. And we think that you must take this personally and drive the agenda to stop the president from this incursion, the attempt to demolish our democracy. The diminution of our democracy shall not be tolerated, and you must lead in this conversation. Before we go into it, as I indicated, there will be all the four political parties who come here and give their statements. We will appreciate your cooperation in that regard.